Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sideshow Live. We are here with our special guest, Martine Canale. Hi, Martine. How's it going?
Very well.
Very well. That's good. So, you're not in the studio all that often, so we really jumped on the opportunity to get you onto the show. Okay. So we're really happy to have you. For those of you who don't know who Martine is a lead sculptor and associate art director here at Sideshow. The list of characters you have had your hands on is just crazy extensive. The list is
a few years.
Bane, Lobo, Hulk versus Wolverine, Venom, Doomsday, Odium, Batman. It just keeps going.
Yeah,
so
Hulk and many others.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being here. We really
Thanks
appreciate
for the invitation,
it. Yeah. So how did you get your start in sculpting?
I started doing drawings by myself.
Okay.
So on the beginning was copy from comics, from European comic. Zona 84 was a comic that we received in Argentina and many others. So I like the science fictions and the creation of characters. So I was trying to do my own stuff.
Absolutely.
But at some point I get with the knowledge that I will not be good enough for what I'm trying to do on the drawing. So I start playing with epoxy.
Oh, okay.
Trying to see if there I can get a little more of three-dimensionality to the characters I want to do.
Oh, wow, okay.
And from there,
it just kind
of
took off.
Long
so then
story.
what led you to Sideshow?
Oh, first approach on Sideshow was in 2002 on the Comic Con.
Really?
Yep. At that moment, Sideshow was in partnership with Weta. So with all the things with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I was officially introduced to Sideshow by Ciruelo Cabral. He's the artist, dragon artist. He's an Argentinian dragon artist. And from there, we keep in touch with Tom, Greg, and the team at that time, trying to show every month the little project we was doing.
Yeah. Until
2004, they sent an email saying, "Hey, you're interested in doing some project for us?" Yeah, for sure. So that was the first project we did was Green Goblin.
Your first project was Green Goblin?
Yeah, doing the slice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, that one that everyone covets, really?
The one that everybody wants.
Nice.
It's so hard to find.
People love that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's old school.
That's great.
Yeah, wow.
So after that, we get the invitation to come visit
the studio?
the company, and then they proposed to us to be like exclusive sculptors. So we came like, that is incredible. So from there till now, we are like living the dream.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, we feel completely blessed to have you with us because you bring to life so many of the characters that we love in so many ways. So from start to finish, how long do you think that it takes to sculpt a project, like a premium format figure? I'm sure it depends.
Yeah, exactly. All depend of the quantity of the tiles. It's not the same doing a Wolverine that is no accessories than, for example, I don't know, Lobo or a lot of pouches and elements, and so, but no less than 3 months. So,
no less than 3 months. Wow. And then something like this Nightmare Joker.
It's more.
That's a lot more.
Yeah.
So with all the details that
Yes.
goes into him.
This particularly was the design was done by Paul Komoda. That was amazing and crazy. And the project manager of this project was Anthony Mestas. So we need to do first an approach to how to make that designs factible to produce.
Yeah.
Because with too many things floating and going around, so trying to start from there to how to mash with the figure to avoid issues with the production. So take way more than 3 months. So.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. So you're also, one of the things you're known for is your attention to detail and bringing in elements of the character from the outside. So do you have an idea in your head of what something is going to look like when you start, or do you go with it and let the sculpture decide?
Usually I have a very clear idea about how that will looking.
Uh-huh.
So on the process, I'm doing factible that when I finally have in 3D is, okay, that is what I was thinking or have in my mind, or no, I need to change that.
Okay.
But it's that kind of three-dimensional view more than that. That is the issue. I can do nothing in 2D in drawing, so I feel like it's flat. So it's easy to things in the complete forms.
Oh wow!
In fact, when I do some designs for the characters, I do in digital in ZBrush. So I blocking up the shapes and I get it a very clear idea about the location, space, and
yeah. So when you approach a character like Batman, for example, where do you draw inspiration from? Because that's a character that's done over and over,
many times,
many times. So how
comics,
do you
video games, movies, etc. So the idea with this one was trying to do one kind of old man, right, close to what was the Dark Knight from Miller, but bringing a little more of reality in relation with his outfit. So trying to, it's not full body, so big, it's kind of armory to help be in the same line of Superman and Wonder Woman. So he needs some extra help. He's a bit old, so he needs kind of.
You definitely modernized him a lot too,
exactly.
where he's
Exactly, that is a bit the idea. So.
I love that Batman piece so much. And one of the other things you like to do is throw Easter eggs onto your bases and to the statues. Is there anything in particular that you're proud of that you got in there?
Yeah, I like to bring to the collector those things that, right, here is from that comic or the idea of the character. The same with the base. When I get the design from Batman, I love the idea about Amadeus Arkham, the main story about how was created the Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
So adding the small, like the Mad Dog and the particular dates that some really bad things happen in his guy's family is like interesting. It's also a nice way to do a combination between the superheroes he's part of and the humanity that is on that base.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's really dark and it's nothing supernatural or whatever. It's a lunatic and story that illness, mental, and this kind of thing. So I think it was a nice balance too.
Oh, absolutely! You definitely balanced the larger than life hero with the man behind the bat. It's perfect.
That is what I more like from Batman character. So.
Yeah, and then with Venom, you were able to also put dates on his base as well.
No,
that's not a date. Does Dave Igo know that's not a date?
I think so.
Oh, he told me it's a date. Igo lied. We're gonna have to.
I missed that part.
I'm gonna have to smack him on that one.
Venom, the last one was originally from, you were talking about the new one, no the classic one. That was a Nissan Mainfield project, so I bring there on the end to add some anatomy.
So do you do that a lot? Add on to a project at the end?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, so they're not, it wasn't.
There was a...
You're like, there was? He put it on there. Wow, well, you do so much here at Sideshow, so you touch a lot more than you just...
Yeah, well, I get some participation with other projects. So
that's so amazing.
My field is the superhero, so I can go in giving some points or reviews about the shapes or aesthetics or this kind of thing. So
that's amazing. So you also have worked on quite a few Court of the Dead pieces as well.
Yes.
Is your approach to one of Tom's original characters different than you approach something like Batman or the Joker, who's been done a bunch, or how does that work?
Way different. So it's more open doors to can play with this kind of character. Not this in particular, but all superheroes. You have some box you need to
like
follow.
It still has to kind of look like the Joker.
So, but with all of Court of the Dead, you have the idea, you have the directions, but in my case, I can play with the Grim Reaper or Mortigul, and was really open.
Yeah.
The aspect to can play.
I have to know Odium.
Yeah.
You did Odium, correct? What was the concept with him? Because he's so. How do you make someone look so scary but so friendly at the same time. He really walks that line of
I don't
A
have
warrior.
that original intention, but
Oh.
if that is the final result,
yeah.
welcome.
But what was his concept initially when you and Tom spoke about making him?
Well, when all this stuff about the Court of the Dead come, I always try to do like an hulkish big guy.
Yeah.
So I did mention to Tom, and time later he brings all the story about the golems and these kind of things. So okay, that is my turn to play with the character. But that was on the beginning evolved by Amilcar, by Mark Newman. So getting that base, I start playing with what I have in my mind. So that is
That's amazing.
the Frankenstein.
I love how collaborative you are, but also how your imagination creates these characters.
Oh, thank-
yeah, and
thank
your
you.
versions are so unique. It's fantastic. Do you have a favorite character to sculpt?
Well, this guy
Really?
is one of those. Yeah. So and obviously.
Batman and the Joker. That's such a
yeah.
classic
Yeah,
pairing
exactly.
to be your favorite. That's amazing. We are getting in quite a few questions
Okay.
from the live audience. So do you
Nice.
want to just roll into the Q&A or yeah? Okay, cool. So that's what we're going to do. What Batman villain would you like to sculpt? Batman statue collectors asking
Yeah.
this. What Batman villain would you love to sculpt that you haven't sculpted yet?
Oh. Solomon.
That is such a good one. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and now yeah. Oh, I'd love to see a Solomon
Yeah, that will be
Yeah,
interesting
absolutely.
too.
by you. That would be fantastic. Okay. What is your personal favorite figure that you've worked on? And then what is your personal favorite figure that you haven't worked on?
Oh, well, Reaper was a really, really fun and a lot of personal stuff going there. So
Uh-huh.
for sure,
Yeah.
coming from that side of personal taste, all related with the Court of the Dead. So
Yeah.
it's kind of very open and free
Mhm.
imagination to go. So it's really
So
that
no
fits.
inhibitions. You just get to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so
That's fantastic. Okay. Does Martin have a dream project that he would like to be a part of?
Till now, I think I can. I did the most I wanted, so I get lucky to be in position to choose which character.
Uh-huh.
So I think that helped you, because when you start working with something you really like to do,
Mm-hmm.
you put an extra.
Right.
Passion
You wind
there.
up with
Yeah.
all the details and
exactly,
all the
exactly,
Easter eggs,
exactly.
and
So
you get that.
Telling a bit more about the story of the character beside the pose and the elements. So I think it's lucky enough with that. So it's not like, oh, I still want to, because I already did a lot of what I want to do.
Oh, that's
So-
amazing. So now you just get to choose and get to play.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it's the funny part.
They're asking the type of, do you sculpt in digital or?
Right now it's, all digital.
And you used to be practical.
I start doing by hands,
Yeah.
and like learning with the time, because it's kind of, I learn by my own. There is right now there are a few places where you can go to learn this kind of
Mhm.
sculpt, but wasn't on the time I start. So I start just with epoxy, 2-part components, playing with, doing by part, because the time of the cure material don't give you the chance to do full
Yeah.
figure. So with the time we start sculpting with that. Then we can talk about brands from here or not? Brands.
Like brands of materials.
Yeah.
You can. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
fine.
well, then
Yeah.
I get access to epoxy Avis. That is
Okay.
for us was, that is different things. Way more easy to work and these kind of things. And with time, I was reading in that time, it was not internet, was
Mhm.
Amazing Modeler Resource, and I was, what is about this super sculpting material that looks, you can work the full figure and bake it, and so I was really like, this is something I need to try.
Mhm.
And I remember I get a friend that come to here and buy and bring me that just one block of that super sculpting. and I was so scared to don't how to use that and waste it that I never used. When I go there, that was dry and wasn't no way to use. So when we start working with Sideshow, we get a chance to have materials and stuff. So we start trying with that, and that was the next step. And the last one was the incorporation of the wax, working in wax, to give us the chance to do a really nice skin textures and the tiles and these kind of things, combination with epoxy and super sculpting. And then came the digital era. So
I was gonna say, so you did mixed material.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, if you get the chance to watch a bit about the General Reaper, you can see there epoxy wax, real metal for the base of the armor, real chainmail for the arms, and this kind of thing is all combined. So it's.
Now, do you still work in all those tactical materials?
No, right now it's just digital.
Do you like digital?
Well, it's way easy when you're working for commercial stuff. I mean, doing fix or trying to different options. When you was doing by traditional, you need to make a mold, try to do an option for the head. But right now it's just way easy. It's not less work, but easy to move. Also, you don't need a big space or workshop with that.
Yeah, you can
tools,
just kind of pick it up.
Smooth. Exactly. Just a big machine, a lot of hard drive to do backups just in case. Lucky don't get powered off.
Right. Do you still sculpt things for yourself personally?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Some, just can get out from what is your main work every day. Yeah.
Wow. So then how many different versions of something do you go through before you get to the final version?
There is not a number. Sometimes it's maybe one or two, or sometimes take more time because you are still not 100% secure about what you are doing. So you try, and sometimes maybe, that's the direction. So.
Wow. Martin, so Gina B. Collecting is asking, which artists inspire you?
Oof, so many. From the old times until today, the Schiffler brother was like in relation with the anatomy they handle, the expression of those bodies, the structure of the face. What I always loved was a Japanese artist, Takayuki Takeya. I discovered him in an old magazine called Hobby Japan. Like I get access in Argentina one time, and then I found a library that bring the books from Japan. So I started getting collection, not knowing nothing about what was reading because all Japanese. And I started looking at small advertisement. There are some other books. So I go to the shop and ask to the lady there speak Japanese, and I make the call to those books that was from Takei and Irasawa and many other artists that really
blew your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's
so.
I love that. That's awesome.
From coming to here, Andy Barjon in this time from the back, and Aris Kolokontes. Aris Kolokontes is a Greek sculptor that make amazing creatures. Steve Wan, Randy Bowen was the main guy who opened this business. And for sure, I'm forgetting many more, but it's long. Yeah.
But you're constantly inspired by other artists. It sounds like.
Sure.
Wow, that's awesome. And I'm sure it goes both ways. I'm sure they're also very inspired by you too.
I don't know, but there's it. Okay, and inside the Sideshow team, we have a lot of, to me, big masters like Steve Lore, Will Harbottle, and we can continue with the list. It's Mark Newman, so it's like, oh man, this is. Sure, so.
We're getting a couple questions about where they can follow your work. Right at the bottom of the screen right now, you can see that Martin is on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, and so you can follow him at Martin M. Canale on Instagram. So just right there, just give him a follow. You do post a lot of like your raw sculpts and what things look like before.
That was something from the beginning. Like I kind of learned by my own. I try to share what was the step I follow to the ones who want to learn too. So I always do the step by step of the project. So.
Yeah, your feed is so cool. Like for anyone who's a fan of collecting and a fan of the art that goes behind every statue that you see, it's really awesome to see Martin's work and how it's done.
It's nice to see how the thing is built and what is the process. So.
Absolutely, very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank
that
you.
was
Hope
so cool.
Was
to have
clear
you.
enough. If not, maybe you can add some subtitles for the YouTube versions. Like this guy tried to say this.
No, you were awesome. You were completely wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you guys all for watching. We'll be